Hello, listeners. I'm Alfred.
And I'm Jay.
And this is the inaugural season of the Otafest Podcast.
Every couple of weeks, we're going to bring you our take on geek news, media, technology, and the local convention community in Calgary, Alberta. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the third episode of the Otafest Podcast. I'm Jay.
I'm Alfred.
I'm Dio.
And we're about to start. Let's see what we got coming up first. I'd like to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, which is Otafest. Ta-da! The convention that does this podcast is also the one who sponsors it. If you know anybody who would like to sponsor it, if you have a friend who runs a company, a big company with lots of cash,
make us rich.
Come to us.
Many monies.
You can come sponsor. You can just apply to sponsorship at otafest.com. But we'll be talking a little bit about Otafest later. But we actually have some news about Otafest first, I believe.
Yeah, who thought that the Otafest podcast would have news about Otafest? Crazy.
Yep, but we'll get out of the way right now.
Okay, so if you were at Otafest Vari, we thank you for attending. Any future pin parties we're going to announce on our Facebook page. And if you follow us there, you'll get any sort of news about Otafest. So these pin parties, they're a great community experience. We always try to have exclusive news released live at these things, and we always have keynotes planned. So it's really fun. And if you were at Otafest Var, you would know that we have a special guest coming. Her name is Smile DK. She's well known for late 90s, early 2000s electropop, and most famously for DDR songs such as Butterfly.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm your little butterfly.
That was very good.
Green, black, and blue, mix of colors in the sky.
I want a metal remix of that song now.
I'm sure someone's already beat me to it.
Probably, yeah. So we're also going to be at Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo. We're going to have our early bird pre-reg available there. And we have new kimono-themed pins, which you would have already seen if you were at Otafest Vari. But we're going to have kimono-themed pins for Vari, Mio, June, and Lorelei. We also have an entry in the Expo Parade of Wonders. So you should sign up with our group and show off your magnificent cosplays just on... What street do they...
I think it's First Street.
They march along from in the past. I believe they go down 3rd Street and then they march down Stephen Avenue a bit.
Oh, okay.
I don't know the entire route, but that's definitely a big part. And Stephen Avenue is always a great place to like walk around, and you'll be with all your cosplay friends, and everyone is just going to be celebrating being a geek.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen the parade, but like from what I hear, a lot of people just kind of, that's like the highlight of their expos, like the opening parade.
I know last year was a pretty big deal. Like Nenshi came out, I think.
Gotta work your legs, gotta get that sweet leg day in. Yeah,
okay. Unfortunately, some bad news though. The Sephora Aurora mascot plushes didn't make our pre-sale goal. Oh.
Rest in peace.
No magnetic toast action.
That's not true. I believe that there's an incentive. We're actually going to be using those prototypes still.
Oh, okay.
For the plushies, but unfortunately, anyone who didn't get it.
I found an interesting use for them at the pin party. No, not that way. No, I put Aurora up onto like a table, and I took the toast off, and I would like toss it and try to get it to catch on her mouth. like a stampede.
That should have been one of the selling points.
Yeah,
we
exactly. If
I
I had demonstrated that, I think we would have been funded. But anyways,
you clearly missed out a great marketing opportunity. Yeah, it's going to be pretty bad.
Unfortunately, we didn't meet our pre-sales goal. But if you did pre-order, we're going to refund you ASAP. So no worries on that front. Next up, a few reminders. Panel applications close on April 22nd. You want to get in on that if you want to support our community. Submit your panels, and that reminds me I should submit my panels.
Yeah, me too.
Yep. We're planning to host a podcast panel, so we'll be there as well.
Yeah, if you want to see us live,
getting broadcasts and things like that. We'll be hosting a live show.
Yep.
So,
and
interesting stuff.
Yeah, and finally, just one more reminder about hotels. I finally have the price. It's $149 Canadian per night. So that's very
Canadian. What?
Yeah, that is very, very, very good for downtown Calgary.
Yeah, and $150 is about it's pretty standard for most hotels.
Yeah, it is.
But for being at the Marriott,
And the Marriott,
that's a great price.
Yeah.
And you're right there. And even if you live in Calgary, it's worth
Calgary's
staying.
so wide.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can put it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're so spread out. So.
Even if you live in Calgary or in the vicinity, it's worth it just to prevent yourself from driving downtown every day. So yeah. That's about it for Otafest news and announcements and reminders. So
Thank you for bearing through that.
So what are we doing today? Well, first off, how are we today?
I'm pretty good.
You good?
It's a nice day out.
Yeah, it is nice. It
It's
is
really
a
warm.
ridiculous 16 degrees outside.
Is
Christ,
it actually that warm?
It is.
In
yeah.
March?
I haven't been
In
wearing my
March.
jacket.
You know, the thing is, like, it always goes up for a little bit, but I have a feeling in like the third week of March we're gonna get like a cold spell.
Don't.
no,
I
you
don't
called
want
it-
that.
You don't even
I
have
called it.
you
I'm the
don't-
predictor.
that is not even a jinx because it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's not a
Man,
jinx.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
But I'd like to give out a nice shout out to global warming. And speaking of global warming, I'd also like to give a great shout out to Leonardo DiCaprio
Yeah, he
for that great
finally got
Oscar
his
win.
victory.
Oh man.
A whole legion of memes died that night.
Yeah, did you? That is the first time I've ever seen a meme die
Yeah,
on live TV.
on like
Yeah.
live TV.
People didn't know what to do with themselves.
Yeah, I know. Well, actually, I
Like
think
4chan, part of 4chan died.
I don't know. I think at least for us Calgarians, there's still a meme alive in the sense that Leo doesn't know what a
It
Chinook
was a
is.
Chinook.
Yeah.
Calm down, bro.
It was a Chinook.
Yeah.
That was my Twitter feed. Immediately after it happened, there was tons of no more Leo memes, and then between every post, it was like it was a Chinook.
Like I said, I definitely want to thank global warming for the great weather and thank Leonardo DiCaprio for acknowledging global warming and mistaking it. But that's not my problem.
No. Okay. No, really though, we should move on with our actual content for today. So we've got something interesting planned. We're actually going to talk about anime today.
Which is so exciting. I love
We're an anime convention podcast. We're going to talk about anime.
I know.
Next, we'll be talking about conventions and podcasts.
Well, keep in mind our last two podcasts are mainly about gaming, so we're finally going to give you guys an anime episode.
Anime.
And to kind of kick off, we're going to kind of talk about the 2016 spring season, which there's a couple of shows I'm looking forward to, even though I don't really watch a ton of anime. I know.
Dio's the one who really
Dio's
watches.
the one here. That's
Yeah,
like,
I watch
shows
a
here.
ton of anime,
Yeah.
but I actually haven't looked at the chart, so this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, we're pulling some stuff. So we've got this segment going on right now.
None of us have seen the chart. So what I'm going to do is that I'm
Yeah.
going to go to anychart.net, which is a site full of synopses for the upcoming anime season. And I'm going to read a random synopsis and we're going to discuss it. And
Sweet.
we're going to predict how the show will go, any sort of cliches that the show might have. Or
I have a really good. Okay, so the truth is, I don't watch a lot of shows anymore, but that's because back in my prime, which is like your anime watching prime, anyone should know this. Your anime watching prime is probably around whenever you're in junior high and high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you have all this time and, you know, like you're terribly socially awkward and you have no friends. Maybe.
No, plus
well,
the-
that's not okay. That's not everybody, but that was certainly most of us, anyways.
Well, the older you get, the more cynical you get too about,
Yeah.
about
and
anime.
I've watched so many shows, legitimately over 600. I think I'm in the 700 range now. but I'm
Holy
not sure.
crap.
No, I think I'm about the same
No,
as well.
I can't be up there.
But most
no.
of my stuff is like, you know, again, older, like around 2000s to like 90s and 2000s stuff. But I get really cynical. Alfred is right. So I have a really good, but I usually get a pretty good grasp of what an anime is about in the first 2 episodes or so, or the synopsis. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing a lot of predictions.
Well, even stuff that's supposedly like not cliche ends up being kind of cliche.
Cliche.
Everything.
yeah.
There's very few anime that's cliche, but that's just the way it is. Like
Yeah.
you say that like Hollywood doesn't come up with anything new anymore. Neither does anime.
Neither
Not
does
really.
anime.
It's just that
That's true.
they can animate it in such a way that it looks different at least.
I think I'm just so desperate for good content that like I will sit through anything.
What,
Like, I
what
will
is-
sit through.
What's your favorite?
No shit posting?
What's your favorite genre?
Oh,
Man, that's hard. I don't even know anymore.
Okay, what are you currently into right now?
I'm really okay. So I'm watching Erased. That was the big one that everybody was like,
That's
watch
winter-
that, and that's airing right now.
Yeah. Erased
And that's
is
kind of like it's kind of like a drama.
You know what? Everyone has been telling me to watch Erased, and
I've heard good things.
everyone's like, "Oh,
But
it's
I've
not
already predicted
cliche.
it.
It's not cliche. It's
It
not,
has cliches.
No,
It-
I'm like
but not
3 episodes in. I'm just like, okay, no, this is kind of like a lot of like the typical mystery.
I'm
Yeah, that's
stuff, yeah.
true. It is.
I didn't watch it or anything, but I did read the Wikipedia synopsis, and it has something to do with like time travel.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it does a little bit.
Yeah.
I liked it. I'm really liking liking it right now.
What else? Well, what else? Are
Let me
you
spoil
in
it
Idol
for-
Hell right now?
I am in Idol Hell, but I'm not watching any Idol shows. I'm just rewatching
okay.
like the Idol Master.
Okay, well, you know what?
occasionally.
Let's just kick it off with an Idol show.
Oh,
okay.
perfect.
Aikatsu Stars.
Oh God,
Aikatsu. Have you heard of this?
I have not watched Aikatsu because there's so many seasons.
Is it
and I just can't do
Aikatsu?
it.
Is it like the Apple way of writing Aikatsu? Like it would be like, or is it like love katsu?
No.
Like AI?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
AI.
Okay, I was thinking it was like Aikatsu. It was like, I didn't know Apple came out with like fried pork tendon.
Yeah. Okay, well,
That's how I call it.
anyways, Aikatsu Stars features the protagonist Yume Nijino, okay? And Yumi aims to become a top idol, and she enrolls in the Yotsusei Gakuen Academy. This academy has a special group called the
Gakuen's also
S4,
academy.
who are the top 4 active idols in the school. Yumi and the other first-year students aim to become a part of the S4.
This sounds like Love Live season 3.
I wouldn't know anything about that, but you can tell exactly where it's going. She's gonna there's gonna be some build up, there's gonna be some teamwork, there's gonna be some heartbreak, and then she's gonna succeed at the end. Ta-da!
The art style looks extremely moe, like even more so than like the more typical idol shows.
Yeah, they're kind of bug-eyed.
Yeah, just a
To
bit.
be real.
See, that's the trend now. Is like we get the bug-eyed stuff, like, and people used to complain about like '90s animation with like the sharp knife chin syndrome.
true.
But now all we
Now
get is
this is like
literally
you
like,
get-
pug eyes, like looking off in wrong directions and just being
Googly-eyed
like,
pugs.
"I'm cute, damn it."
So predictions for that. Well, you already made your predictions.
It's gonna
I
be
don't know.
Love Live season 3.
It's
I don't
gonna be
know.
Love Live season 3.
It's just gonna be. It's as Jay
Okay,
said.
now keep in mind, guys, I don't know anything about anime or like the recent anime at least.
I don't know anything about idol anime, but it's
I think the
idol
last-
anime is
yeah.
like akin to sports anime. That's how I
Yeah.
gotta think about it.
They're gonna sing, then they're gonna cry, then they're gonna sing, and everyone's gonna
And
be
they're like,
happy.
I don't know if I'm gonna make it, or I don't know if my friend's gonna make it, but I'm gonna cheer for them if they do.
Yeah, I personally haven't finished an anime show in like the longest time. So like I think the last anime I actually got close to finishing was Durara, like the second season.
I watched Kill la Kill.
I haven't even seen that. Yeah.
Oh, you're a bad person.
Yeah, and like
Trigger is my trigger.
okay, and I'm probably gonna drop Erased at some point because like it's
That's
not
fair.
interesting me.
You remember how we talk about like Gurren Lagann
Yeah.
as like, you know, top tier kind of like if you're into Gainax, then you will be into Trigger, and if you're into Trigger, you will watch Kill la Kill.
I don't know.
I liked Kill la Kill, but I'm very much like, if we're gonna talk about Trigger, it's all about Little Witch Academia. Like that show.
I don't know what that is. I heard of it.
It was their pilot OVA as a studio, and they ended up making a second OVA, and it was just as fantastic as the first.
What's the name of their next show that they announced?
Oh, I don't remember.
It's I can't remember what
I
it
don't
is, but
remember.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually
I
a
can
fan.
Google it in a bit.
I'll watch that.
Okay, moving on. Bungo Stray Dogs.
Just looking at the picture, it looks really edgy.
Yeah, Nakajima Atsushi was kicked out of his orphanage. Wow. And now he has no place to go.
Is that WoW really in there?
No.
Oh,
It's just like, wow, who gets kicked out of an orphanage? Okay, well, Nakajima Atsushi
people
was,
with parents, I guess.
he was kicked out of his orphanage. Now he has no place to go and no food. While he is standing by a river on the brink of starvation, he rescues a man whimsically attempting suicide. How do you whimsically attempt suicide?
Like, ooh,
Like
I'm dancing.
choking on a lollipop or like a multicolored rainbow lollipop.
Okay, that man is Dazai Osamu, and he and his partner Kunikita are members of a very special detective agency. They have a supernatural powers and deal with cases that are too dangerous for the police or the military. They're tracking down a tiger that has... Oh, and the description cuts off. They're tracking down a tiger that has appeared in the area recently, around the time that Atsushi came to the area. The tiger seems to have a connection to Atsushi, and by the time the case is solved, it's clear that Atsushi's future will involve much more of Dazai and the rest of the detectives.
It's a furry anime.
There's a lot going on.
That's a lot.
So there's like, okay, let me get this straight.
Freaking
There's a
complicated.
kid who gets kicked out of an orphanage, not a school or like another institution,
orphanage.
an orphanage which is designed to help people like him, and he tries to commit suicide. A lion.
No, he
appears.
comes across someone trying to commit suicide
Oh.
whimsically.
My bad.
Whimsically. What was? Have you seen Wolf's Train?
Then there was
No, I
a
haven't.
detective.
Goodness.
There was a detective
Yeah.
And there's a few
Spirit
detectives
detective.
who have supernatural powers.
to try and
Oh,
figure
man.
out the guy
Oh,
why
man.
the guy was trying to kill himself.
That is okay.
This is like a mouthful for my brain.
That's
It's not.
That's a Channel F anime right there. Or like not like what was that game that we played? Or
Channel A?
Channel A, not Channel F. Yeah, Channel A. I'm thinking like a console. But like Channel A, like that sounds
Yeah,
like
it's
like
just,
a BS thing you would make
Here's
up
a
on
bunch
the
of
spot.
crap, and then you have to. If for anyone who doesn't know what Channel A is, it's a board game or tabletop game where it's kind of like Cards Against Humanity, except you get to back up what your premise is. Essentially, you're a show pitcher, and you tell people like, "This is the anime that I'm gonna make." And this is why it's going to be a great anime, and then someone chooses why it would be a good anime. Let's be honest, no one ever comes up with a really good anime, as evidenced by this show. What is this show? This show is going to be, I want to say like the plot twist, like the tiger is his mother.
I wanted to say
it's a
that,
plot
like,
twist show. I'm going to tell
no,
you.
that'll never
Yeah.
happen. But honestly, I believe
It's a crappy plot
I
twist
wouldn't
show.
put it past them. Yeah.
Because there's magic. There's magic involved in here. Right?
Yeah, there's
they have
magic,
supernatural
so
powers.
anything's
So
possible.
the mom. So the tiger is the mom, and the guy committing suicide.
It's his dad.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That got sad really bad.
Okay.
Real fast.
Haifuri. So Haifuri. Haifuri. In the sea we live, the sea we protect, and by the sea we go. Japan, 100 years after plate subductions caused many other countries to be submerged. To save the remaining countries, the coastal cities that have been built up were launched into the seas, and the seaborne routes between them expanded. With this expansion, a need for personnel that would safeguard the seas arose. Women began to seek employment in this new industry. And soon the blue mermaids who keep the seas safe began to be a source of admiration for many. The childhood friends Akino Misaki and Moe Kachina sought to become blue mermaids themselves, and together with others who shared their dream, they enrolled in Yokosuka's Marine High School.
Okay, so
This
let me
started
get this.
out good, and then it kind of just like
Yeah,
So let me get this
nosedived.
right. It's global warming, and
Yeah.
then you have to, and they're trying to save.
No, it's not global warming. Plate subductions is like tectonic activity.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
like after the continents collided,
Oh, okay, so it's earthquakes,
Yeah,
causing
And-
submergence somehow. I don't know. Okay.
tsunamis everywhere. And then there's people who are guardians of protecting the city. Essentially, is this right?
Like-
Protecting the sea routes between the cities.
Is it? Does it look like a magical girl anime?
no, it looks like a high school.
It actually looks like a high school anime.
Does it look like Strike Witches?
Actually, yeah, kind of a little bit.
Strike Witches
Like
is like
the
a,
art style
You know
looks
what?
the same.
This sounds like a very elaborate way of like
Elab-
justifying the Sailor Fuku.
Yeah, pretty
A
much.
very elaborate way of justifying.
Oh my
They're
god! Like, hey,
See, we're at sea.
we're-
so
yeah.
We're at sea. We actually need these uniforms. Trust us. That sounded really cool up until like the high school part.
Yeah.
That sounded like a really sweet like dystopia type like
Yes.
sci-fi anime.
Yeah, and then it
I
kind
can't
of
think of the closest other thing I could come up to, but probably less dumb is it's probably better than Strike Witches, but it's probably very similar to Strike Witches.
I like Strike Witches, but
You-
I mean,
of course you would. You really like that. You like Moe.
I do like Moe. Like I
can't
admit that
do
Moe's
it.
not that great, but I enjoy it.
I've never met a Moe that was great.
You never met a Moe.
Nope.
Did I see JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? That's right. That's coming out.
You did. Yeah, that's for part 4, Jojo no Kimyo Naboken.
Yeah, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Part 4 focuses on Josuke Higashikata, the
Yeah.
illegitimate son of Joseph Joestar, with Jotaro Kujo and Joseph Joestar along in a supporting role.
That is the most minuscule description of that part I've ever seen.
Okay, well, you can't really make a description or a prediction of this because the
I
manga-
already know how it ends.
Yeah, the manga's already out. So
Like, I've already read it.
Let's not spoil anyone.
Yeah.
But I know you're super into JoJo.
I'm super into JoJo. I love part 4.
Let's not
Part
get
4 is
too
the
deep
happy
into
part.
this.
So
This is a dark hole for
Yeah,
Alexis.
that is a bit of a dark hole for Alexis.
yeah.
Okay, Joker game from Production IG.
That sounds
Ooh.
interesting.
Okay. So,
That title alone reminds me of Death Parade for some
Yeah,
reason.
that's what I
Yeah.
was thinking of too.
production, and you know, it's like the animation's gonna be sick because it's
Production
Production IG.
IG.
Yeah.
big.
So in
Biggie.
1937, before World War II begins in earnest, Lieutenant Colonel Yuki of the Imperial Japanese Army forms the D Agency, an army intelligence outfit.
D Agency?
The D Agency.
All right.
An army intelligence outfit under his command and tutelage. Army General Staff attaches Lieutenant Sakuma to observe the unit's performance. The agency casts a wide net to find agents beyond Japanese military personnel, and Yuki establishes the agency's tenets, which go against the IJA doctrine. Don't kill, don't get killed, don't get captured. With this, Yuki trains a team of operatives who conduct missions against domestic and foreign powers. So it's
Sounds cool.
that sounds really cool, but it's like
It's a spy. It sounds like a spy show a little bit.
yeah, kind of
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of subterfuge.
Yeah.
There's definitely a plot twist in there. I'm gonna call the plot twist is definitely like the general
a
or
traitor
the
in the midst,
the traitor is like the commanding officer type thing.
I'm actually almost going with like a historical revisionist kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what
because
the
it's like,
feel I'm getting too.
It's like pre-World War II, right? And like
Yeah.
they're gonna like let's not mince words here. Like I think Japan, especially when it comes to their history, are kind of like dance around the subject or kind of like
yeah, very
glorify
much.
it. So I don't know. I think there's going to be like, they uncover like an American plot to kill Japanese or something, and then like they prevent it. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be something like that.
Something
but it looks
like that.
interesting.
It does. It looks sweet. There's a guy with a katana, and there's like cards falling
In
around.
Japan,
Yeah.
people with a katana. What?
I know. Yeah. But they're all like in sick like pre-World War II suits, and they all look dapper.
They all look like real people. Like they don't look like.
Production IG style is like that though. Everyone
Yeah,
looks
they
like,
look realistic. It's nice. It's a nice change.
okay. Triggers new show. There we go.
Oh, we
Oh,
found
thank you.
it.
Okay, Kisniver. The fictional Japanese city named Sugomori City is built on reclaimed land, but as the years go by, the city's population is decreasing. One day, Sonosaki tells her classmate Katsuhira, "You've been selected to be a Kisniver."
Okay.
Kisniver. The Kizuna system, which allows Katsuhira to share his wounds, connects him to
Wow, what a jerk.
connects him to the classmates whose lives and personalities completely differ from his. The Kizuna system is also an incomplete system for the implementation of I'm on mobile. So of world peace that connects people through wounds. What the hell?
Oh
So it's like a hive mind where suffering is shared
by
essentially.
everyone.
Yeah,
I guess.
all those who are connected to the system are called Kisnivers. When one Kisniver is wounded, the system divides and transmits the wound amongst the other Kisnivers. What?
That's kind of.
You ever
neat.
hear that? Like, this reminds me very easily of the phrase like "death through 1,000 cuts" or something like
Yeah,
that. Like,
exactly. Like the idea of like, oh, you're sending an army into battle, but instead of like sending one person and they die,
yeah, instead
you
of
send
one person losing an entire arm, like everyone loses a bit of their pinky.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, maybe that's an interesting. That's
See, the
that's
problem with
interesting.
Yeah.
I would love to make a good prediction for this show, except
It's
it's
Trigger.
made by Trigger.
so it could go. It's either going to be great or
Well, you're gonna see a ton of sick animation. And
Yeah, you are. It's
Well, my
very
real question is
visual.
what qualifies as an injury in this case? Because like a wound,
Yeah, I guess
it's
do
like
they
it's
share
cutting your
mental
hair
pain?
in
One
a
person
wound.
gets cancer, everyone gets cancer,
oh god.
or something like that. I don't know.
No, but I'm serious. Like,
Yeah,
what,
no.
what qualifies?
I
Like,
guess we're gonna have to watch the show to find out,
Yeah,
because
I
like
guess we
that's
will.
like one of those super out there, extremely anime.
and the other thing
kind
is
of
like
thing.
somebody like the way that I'm imagining it is like you're in the battlefield and
Yeah.
you get hit by a cannonball. It sinks in your
Oh.
entire chest, right? Because you're still gonna feel that for
Yeah,
the
of
for the
course.
brief moment or whatever before it gets dispersed. That's gonna suck. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, like, what part? Like, do you just lose a nipple or something? Like,
Yeah.
like
I don't know how's that going to work.
how does
It's
that
going to be interesting. Like
disperse?
Well, it's Trigger, so I don't know. Like
I think they'll handle it well. I mean,
Kisniver. I don't even know how to say that.
How do you
Yeah.
spell it? Or
Kiznaiver. Kisniver. I don't know.
Kisniver?
Kisniver. Never. Art style kind of looks like Evangelion, but like a modern Evangelion.
well, I mean that's fair. It's Trigger.
Yeah.
That's basically.
For anyone who doesn't
Studio
know who
Gainax.
Trigger is Gainax.
Yeah.
essentially.
Formerly.
Yeah.
I mean,
known as Gainax.
Gainax still exists as a thing, but they aren't really doing so well. So
Yeah.
hot.
There's like one token super colorful character, and then there's like a token moe character.
Does
From looks of it.
does the protag look like
He looks like
a
Kaoru.
protag?
He looks like Kaoru from
Oh, no.
from Evangelion.
Yeah.
Like white hair, school uniform.
Here comes the fan art.
Yeah, I mean,
And it looks like there's a Shinji character in the background too.
except he actually looks cool.
Yeah, he does look cool. He doesn't look like Shinji.
No.
Oh god, it's gonna be like some kind of alternate universe
Evangelion.
Evangelion. Well, I mean, Evangelion has like it uses child soldiers as well.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So
Okay, Kuma Miko. The story follows Machi, a middle school student who serves as a shrine maiden at a Shinto shrine enshrining
Of
a
course.
bear. in the recesses of a certain mountain in Japan's northern Tohoku region.
Why not just say Mount Fuji? It's already super.
Yeah, Machi's guardian.
It's already super stereotypical.
Oh, Machi's guardian's a talking bear named Natsu, and one day,
Wow.
Machi says to Natsu, "I want to go to a school in the city." The worrywart Natsu then gives Machi, who is ignorant of the ways of the world, a set of trials that she must pass in order to survive in the city. That's really cute.
This looks adorable.
You must learn how to go to a convenience center or a convenience store and buy onigiri instead of making it yourself the traditional way at the shrine.
The bear looks really cute.
Is this a slice of life? It sounds like a slice.
It sounds like a slice of life show. The bear looks really cute. Like he's a big like teddy bear.
I was picturing like a little one.
No,
he's
he's huge. He's kind of like
okay. Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know why I'm asking questions about how things look, is because Alfred's doing this through mobile. Because I agreed not to look at any of the synopses before I made a thing.
And I'm sitting next to Alfred.
So yeah. But anyways, like this looks adorable. It honestly does.
It looks really cute.
It looks too adorable.
It looks like something I'm gonna watch. Like I'll be honest, when a new season comes out, I tend to watch at least one of every show, and then from that I'll pick out the most tolerable shows and I'll watch all the way through.
I kind of sniggered when I said Shrine Maiden because I know you're into Toho.
Yeah, I love Toho.
It just sounds
I love
so...
Toho projects so much. It does. I could see this being the plot of a Toho game, to be honest.
Yeah. It just sounds so like stereotypical, like
Does
pure
it?
girl. Pure,
Okay, well, yeah, talking
pure
animal.
girl in a shrine, Japanese shrine, far away from everything, and she has a magical companion, but she has aspirations to change her life, and
It's a very typical like coming of age story kind of thing with magical aspects, which I mean you see that a lot in anime. So
yeah, that's like every second anime.
pretty much.
I mean, I love slice of life, but there's different types of slice of life. This is the ladder, the moe type.
Okay, this is where I get excited.
Macross
Delta.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen it?
I saw.
Has anyone seen a Macross show?
I haven't watched a Macross show all the way through.
I am not of that genre.
Okay, so I'm a huge Macross fan, or mecha in general.
Alfred likes things that are robotic in general.
Giant robots.
Sci-fi is Alfred's main genre.
Giant robots. Yeah. But okay, so Delta is another show in a long line of a series.
A long line.
Very long, and
some of you weren't born yet. We weren't born yet.
I wasn't
born yet. I think the first Macross was out in 79.
Yeah, something like that.
81, around there.
Jesus.
Yeah, so and I actually sat down and watched the whole thing, the original series. Some of the animation is just like
It's just like
Beautiful, right?
What is going? Well, okay,
Original content. Do not steal.
The original Super Dimension Macross looks atrocious by modern standards, but then they made like a compilation movie that retells the original series, and that's gorgeous.
Oh, okay.
It's like a pinnacle of 80s animation versus the TV series is just like crap. It looks terrible.
Watch it.
It's a good series. It just looks terrible. But
makes it hard to watch sometimes.
yeah, and okay. Well, the thing about Macross you guys should know is that it's kind of gone back and forth on the silliness spectrum.
Yeah.
They've gone from very, very serious like killer AI is about to take over nuclear arsenals to I'm gonna fly a jet with a guitar. No, seriously, that's Macross 7.
Wonderful.
That's Macross 7. There's a guy who thinks his life's goal is to sing to aliens and make them not evil anymore.
That's
that sounds
beautiful.
like a bitch and good show. Like I love music anime.
Shit, Macross 7 is so good. A lot of people don't like it
because it deviates so hard.
Yeah, but I mean, like it's like the G Gundam of Macross.
Good Gundam.
Yeah, actually. And Delta it kind of runs with that. I guess it kind of goes back into like the silliness spectrum because the last Macross show was Frontier.
Yeah.
Which involves, like all Macross shows involve music in some way.
Yeah.
Be it a band, be it like a girl trying to become an idol, and there's a love triangle and stuff.
Yeah.
So Frontier was kind of like that. This one
is Idols. I watched. There was a preview like episode 0 that was put out, and I watched it.
And I don't know how to feel.
I loved it. I loved it.
I don't know how to feel.
I haven't seen it. I have no opinion.
See, I am very tolerant of most things Macross, but that's borderline.
This is pushing it for you.
It's getting there. Yeah.
It's very much like there's robots and there's aliens, as you would expect from Macross,
Yeah.
or so I'm told. And then there's like magical girl idols.
And it's a squadron of
It's
them.
a
Do the
squadron.
robots? No. The real question is, do the robots get to be idols too?
No, the robots
What?
are piloted
That's
by
such-
the idols.
No,
Okay.
that's a huge miss. That's a
No,
huge
no.
miss. You're telling me no one wants to see 70-foot tall robots instead of just like battling it out in a field or whatever? They're just like, all right, dance
Oh
formation.
my god, that'd be wonderful.
Guys, what's gonna happen? Their formations are gonna be based on their dance moves, and like they're gonna translate their dance moves on stage.
I just want to see a
like,
breakdancing robot doing the
Well,
robot.
like the OVA literally had a breakdancing
Okay.
because one of the idols is a breakdancer / rapper.
2 words.
What
oh
the
wait,
hell?
not 2 words. 4 words. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Okay, now here's the thing. Like
I learned to count.
even when Macross gets silly, it's just the characters that are silly. The mecha is still like kind of solid,
Yeah.
right? So I think that's gonna be the
So
case.
what you're telling me, the dance segment is also going to be solid.
Well, no, it's going to be really flashy, like space fights and like space
Yeah.
battles and stuff. That's what's going to happen because Frontier has some amazing space
Space
battles.
All right.
So I don't know.
I'll watch it.
How are you feeling about it?
How am I feeling about it? I don't know how to
Scale
feel.
of 1 to 10.
Okay, see, here's
Do
the
you
thing.
anticipate it?
Okay, I wasn't really into Frontier initially because the animation was so colorful and like moe compared to the previous ones.
Okay, and this one is very similar.
This one looks very similar to Frontier, and but the thing about Frontier that saved it was that it was like a celebration of the 25th anniversary.
Okay.
So it had a lot of callbacks to the old series. So it had like, if you had watched all of Macross, it was very impactful to you, right?
Okay.
This one, on the other hand, is just like another iteration of it. And I don't think there's going to be a lot of like shout outs or, it's not
Okay,
going to relate
that's
to the
fair.
previous ones as much. So I don't know how I'm going to feel about it.
You're not feeling great?
I'm not feeling great about this one.
All right.
And I also love Gundam. In the last Gundam show, I really was looking forward to Crash and Burn. So
Oh, that
Was that
sucks.
Unicorn?
no, it was Unicorn's amazing, but no, G Reco or Reconquista in G, the original creator came back to make a show, and it's a mess.
Oh.
Is that that sounds like a George Lucas syndrome thing?
It very much was. It was
Yeah.
so bad. Okay, anyways, we're gonna move on. Onigiri, that's what it's called. Onigiri, the MMORPG Onigiri thrusts its players into mystical Japan, a land filled with mythical creatures of Japanese legend. Starting as a lone Oni, players fight against the malevolent influence of the Kamikui as their miasma spreads over the land. 8 NPCs, each with their own distinct personality and skills, ally with themselves with the player. Oh, this is a game. What? Oh.
You done
It's
goofed.
probably based off of a game,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
which means it's not good,
Well-
unfortunately.
Yeah. No, I actually think this site includes games as well.
It also includes manga.
No, because
yes.
that one was animated by
okay,
Studio. No, that was an anime. It was animated by Studio Dean or something, or Period. So it's an
Studio
anime,
Period.
but it's probably based off of a game.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, well, 8 NPCs with their own distinct personality and skills ally themselves with the player to help build a legend and quell the evil that has arisen. As you grow stronger, so do the bonds. Okay, well, it's an MMO.
It's an MMO, so
It's an MMO
Yeah.
anime.
it's gonna be a thing.
There's nothing really to say about MMO animes. Like people and people are gonna get on me about this. They're gonna be like, I love Sword Art Online, and
So, well,
And-
the difference is like if
I
you
could
look
not
at
get
like
into that.
Sword Art Online or even like the Hack series,
Yeah.
like they're based off of MMOs, but they're not based off of games that already existed. They were their own like original thing,
Concept, yes.
to my understanding. Whereas like I tried to watch the Blade and Soul anime, where Blade and Soul the game came out first, and then they made the anime, and it
Let's-
was such a train wreck.
let's put it this way: the only good adaptation of a game that I've ever seen is still probably Advent Children for Final Fantasy VII. I cannot think of another one off the top of my head. Like
I can't think of
when you're talking about
anything either.
movies, whether you're talking about movies or
just
like,
anything.
or shows based off a game or a game based off a show. Like it's so hard for some reason to
Yeah.
nail down the spirit and the feel.
Well, it's because like I guess like in terms of like games are an interactive experience, right?
Oh, I guess
And,
yeah.
And then when you take it like anime is not you don't interact with the show. You sit
No.
down and you watch the show and you experience the show, but you don't interact with it.
Like,
so when you take
not
something
even
that's
like
interactive
Pokemon and stuff like that,
Yeah.
it's they're still not really the same. Or you have
Yeah.
like you have Pokemon Yellow, which was like to fulfill the anime dream essentially, but even then, like at least that's more of a simple formula. But games where like you have an MMO type feel to it,
games where you develop the character by playing like as yourself.
You have way too many levels of interaction to try and fulfill.
Like obfuscate what's going on and just make it a visual experience. I don't think it works.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I actually see what's going on here. It's listed as a video game because it's based on a video game. It is an anime. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. Let's do a couple more, and then I think we'll move on to a new segment. Okay. Which one looks really good? I saw. Ooh, this looks cool. Tonkatsu DJ Agetoro.
Tonkatsu. Actually,
Tonkatsu DJ Agetoro.
I don't know what Agetoro is, but that just means pork cutlet DJ.
So, the manga or the anime follows Agetoro Katsumata, a stupid but honest guy whose family has run a tonkatsu restaurant for 3 generations. He's also a beginner DJ.
This sounds great.
This
is going to be a
like
short.
Sokugeki no Soma mixed with I don't know, some other crap anime.
Some other crap animation.
This looks
some
good.
other crap music
This
anime
looks good.
show.
I wonder if it's actually going to look like that. Like,
well, think about it. Like
look
Osamatsu-san is airing right now.
It's got a really interesting, cartoony, unique style, I guess. So I don't know. It's like
It looks very like, if you're someone who like reads older manga, it very much resembles like almost like the Astro Boy.
a bit.
Style.
That's
a little
very
bit.
classic.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're. I don't understand what they're trying to accomplish though. Like
It's gonna be a
it's
comedy.
gonna be like
It's gonna be
so.
a
Here's
comedy,
the actual
yeah.
prediction part: is this boy who has been raised by a tonkatsu family. He is trying to aspire to be a DJ, but like there's the traditional roots of running the restaurant, the family business.
Right.
Yeah, I guess
So
that's fair.
that's clearly the plot essentially.
I don't think it's going to be a full show. I think it's going to be probably a short. Like it's probably going to be like a web series. Oh yeah, look at that. It even says
it's
7 minutes.
7 minutes?
Or no, X minutes.
No. It's they don't know how many.
7
They don't know
minutes.
how many episodes. They don't know how long each episode is going to be.
I think it's probably going to be a short.
I really hope it's short because I can't see this plot lasting longer than.
Well, no, it
13
could be like
episodes.
slice of life. I mean, like
That's what I'm thinking. It'll be like a
and
slice of
keep in
life
mind, like
short.
Detroit Metal City, right? That went on for a bit, right? It was also an inspiring musician, I guess.
Yeah,
with a weird
but
origin.
I feel like one has a better basis and.
I don't know. It could be funny. It could be funny.
It could be really funny. I think it'll be funny.
I like Shokugeki and I like food shows and I like music shows, but I don't necessarily like the idea of combining them.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to see like DJ Gordon
Got
Ramsay's
a bunch
cooking
of
show.
winter leftovers.
Yeah. No. Okay. So there's a section for shorts, and
Oh, okay, so it's not a short. It's
yeah,
going to
so
be
it's
a
not.
full.
It's not a short. No.
Oh, so it's at least a 13er.
Yeah. And well, I guess we'll do one more series.
Sure.
Unhappy. The story sent.
So
Wow. So,
Unhappy.
end on a
it
good
says
note.
unhappy, but like the picture is like a bunch of cute moe girls with their arms out at you.
Oh, those are my favorite types of people that should be unhappy.
Okay. The story centers around class 1-7 of Tenno. What is with these names for schools?
Tenogo Fune?
You have to imagine that you're
Tenugo
Japanese.
Fune. Tenugo Fune Academy, where all the students with bad karma or misfortune seem to have gathered. Hibari,
God.
a student in the class, meets the unlucky Hanako and the perennially unhealthy Botan on her first day of school.
This is like Tragedy the anime.
Together, they try to find a way to turn their school life into a happy one. Okay, I predict a lot of people getting very sad and like crying over this.
No. It sounds like a comedy show. Number one, it's a
Yeah.
comedy genre show. Number two is it's gonna be hilarious. I don't think there's gonna be a lot of sadness at all unless someone actually dies. That's the only thing I can imagine that would make it sad, but I
guess
don't
so.
think it's gonna get there. I think it's just like, let's just be happy together. Like it's, oh, I live this really sad life, but I just want to be happy, and then can we try and all be happy together? That's the show. But there's gonna be like a little, like I feel like it's gonna be like Azumanga Daioh kind of levels of like whimsical
sadness.
whimsical sadness, essentially.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess so.
I can see that.
Like, and they resolve it by accepting who
the
they
art
are.
Style
That's
doesn't.
always-
The art style doesn't really indicate that. The art style kind of looks really generically moe.
Yeah, it looks very like, it looks to me like
And
it's going to
Azumanga
be a
Daioh didn't?
Azumanga Daioh didn't have a generic look to it, though. I didn't think it looked generic.
I think you're wrong. I feel like it went for the ultra generic look. It went
Yeah,
for the
sure,
ultra,
okay,
like
yeah.
it's non-descriptive.
Yeah, and it's what I mean is that it's not moe. This is generically moe. Really bug-eyed, really huge, multicolored hair.
It looks like something you would expect to be coming out from the past couple of years in terms of style.
Does it kind of look like panty and stocking with
no, nothing looks like panty and stocking.
Dexter's Lab?
And
looks
nothing, nothing
That's
will
the only
ever,
anime I've ever thought is
and
like that looks
nothing
like
will ever
Dexter's
look like
Lab.
panty
Yeah.
and stocking ever again. Gynax ruined Christmas.
Well, there's
that
also
year.
there's Powerpuff Girls Z that also looks like panty and stocking.
I guess Powerpuff Girls Z is a weird thing because it tries to it's like that weird middle line where they were trying to make it look like the original Powerpuff Girls, but of course it's an anime. So.
I just had this terrible thought because I haven't ever thought about Powerpuff Girls Z or watched it, but because it ends with Z, I started replacing the Dragon Ball English theme, which is like Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and then changing that with Powerpuff, Powerpuff Z, whatever, Canada. It's mystical. I'd actually like to do a quick interruption to tell you a little bit about our sponsor. So our sponsor for this episode is Otafest. Otafest is a non-profit society which hosts Southern Alberta's premier Japanese media and culture festival for the last 17 years and counting. Otafest's annual conventions feature a spectacular spectrum of activities, such as visiting the expanded artist alley and vendors, watching your favorite anime shows in large theater spaces, fan culture via community-hosted panels, cosplay contests with cash prizes, meeting unique special guests. We bring in voice actors, media personalities, and performers from all over the world. We've got cosplayer guests from Germany. We've got Smile DK. Of course, she's from Sweden. And we've had Japanese bands in here before and Japanese voice actors. So we try and pull in talent from everywhere. And we also have competitive and open video gaming events. Just had some dyslexia problems there. Otafest 2016 will be held at the TELUS Convention Center in downtown Calgary, Alberta from July 1st to 3rd. That's 1st to 3rd. Tickets are available online at otafest.com with early bird discounts ending June 20th. So yeah, you should buy your stuff online. We also have upcoming things that we're like appearing at. Like we'll have a Calgary Expo table. So if you don't want to pay like the digital kind of like tax or whatever fee,
the service fee
the service fee from online, then come to us if you're going to be at Calgary Expo, buy your ticket there, and you'll save yourself another like $3 or something like that.
Yep. And also here, I neglected to mention this at the beginning of the show, but if you're going to be in Seattle for Sakuracon, we'll actually have a table.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna have I'm so excited.
That's in
We're gonna have
3
a
weeks.
table at Sakuracon 3 weeks from now.
Yeah, so-
Seattle.
Garugamesh.
So yeah, if you're a fellow Canadian from out of town and you're going to be in Seattle, come visit us. And
It's more
We'll
like
be around.
Seattle, come to us.
Yeah.
and
Seattle should come to us. If you want a great con that is literally going to be like a third of the price of a con that you would go to anywhere else, because Canada is poor. You should come to Calgary.
$1 US. You mean 3 cents?
Yeah.
Christ, it's real pain buying anything.
No, but I mean,
from the
like,
US
no,
right
really.
now.
If that's just a great way for Americans to actually kind of like save money on their con tickets, right? I
Yep.
mean, like, and it's a excuse to visit Canada and have our ketchup chips and
Yeah.
all dressed chips and
and buy candy bars
and
that
buy
are like
Coffee crisp.
coffee crisp, yeah.
Real Smarties, not those
Oh,
chalky
Kinder
things.
Eggs.
Or Kinder Eggs
Kinder
with actual
Surprise.
toys in them.
Yeah.
have a
Actual
Kinder
toys.
Surprise that isn't like has the crappy chocolate, but also a toy, because Canadian kids are smart and they don't choke on those things.
Yeah, so just come get our ketchup chips and you can bring up some vanilla Coke for us.
Yeah.
And,
You can come hang out.
You know what?
30%
We'll
discount.
We'll do a con swap.
Special deal. First person to bring a vanilla Coke to the Sakuracon table, we could do a con swap with them. No, don't take that.
No,
for face value.
don't, please don't. So
I'll
yeah,
get yelled at.
but yeah, if you're in the States or Sakuracon and you're from the Calgary area or just from of us, just come visit us and yeah, I'll be there.
I'll be there too.
Yeah, so it's I'm excited. It's my first.
I
Sakuracon.
won't.
Me too. So
Screw you guys.
excited. It's my first American con also.
America.
Yeah.
That wasn't my first. My first one was ColossalCon. That was
ColossalCon.
amazing.
Yeah, I want to come
Back
with
when
you
the
guys.
dollar was okay.
Yeah.
Well,
back
it was
when
still pretty bad, but it was like better.
it was
than
still in
now.
the 80s.
It was still in the 80s. Yeah, it was.
What are we at now? Like
75?
60,
No.
We're at 75.
68, 69, 70. At
My-
one point, it was around in the 60s.
My
Yeah,
girlfriend.
at one point it was
68.
69.
My girlfriend works in the bank and she gives me daily updates, and I had to stop her because it just made me depressed.
It's so bad.
It's
But
not
I
even that
mean,
the economy is that bad. It's just
it's
yeah,
oil
it's just-
and what have you.
Either way, yeah, American Con. I'm really excited to go.
I'm
and
so excited. So many
and we're
people are
excited
going
to
to
see
be
you up in
there.
Calgary if you do come up.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Speaking of cons, though, what was your first con?
My first con was Otafest.
So was mine.
Yeah.
What? How do we have this in common? Mine was also Otafest.
I know, right?
This is unexpected. I was not prepared for this revelation.
No, my first con was Otafest 2008. I think I'd heard about it from a friend. I had a friend who I went to her house for like Halloween one year or whatever. And her Halloween costume was like Sakura from Cardcaptor Sakura, which I was super into as like a little wee teenager. And I asked her,
I'm pretty sure that's how. Yeah.
I asked her, I was like, where did you get this from? Like, this is so cool. And she was telling me that her sister made it. And her sister made it for her to wear to Otafest. And she pulls out this big album of all these pictures that she took at
That's
Otafest
amazing.
back
Yeah.
in the time before.
Digital existed.
Before digital
It was
was
real
common.
photos.
Yeah, they were real like Kodak photos in an album.
Physical
That's
things.
that's like me when someone asks me about Otafest. I just pull out like my archive of stuff from Otafest, and I'm like, well, let me tell you about Otafest.
This is probably the one thing that I have that's different from you guys because all the production stuff that I do is not really whip outable.
Yeah.
It's not easily accessible. It's like, want to check out the guidebook? I've got
Dude, I have a
I've
guidebook
got-
archive though.
Yeah, I
so,
have guidebooks.
Yes,
too.
but you don't have like it's not in your bag. You know, like
What if it is?
well,
Why do you think like that? Why do you
then
think I keep it in there?
I appreciate your efforts.
No, I'm kidding. Mine was Otafest 2006. Yeah, I want to say 2006.
You beat me then, I think.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
First one was
I thought I'd be
2006.
younger.
My friend dragged me to.
Friend.
Yeah. No, we
Look
had.
where you are now.
We had a. So I liked anime at that point. I didn't think it was garbage yet.
You were still.
don't take that seriously.
Like I said, it was in our prime years.
Yeah. So yeah, I liked anime at that point. A friend told me about an anime convention, and I knew that they happened in the States. I didn't know Calgary had one. And she
Yeah,
was like,
that was
"Oh,
the same for
this
me.
one's like a little smaller. It's at the university." So we went, and it was really cool seeing all the cosplay and all that. And I had a closet cosplay. I'm not saying which one it was, but yeah, I thought it was like a really cool thing that I had gone to, and
Yeah.
it was kind of disappointing for me though because I didn't get to see all the other events because said friend spent all her time in the vendor room just reading manga.
Oh,
Literally, she was there for 3 hours.
oh
just
my
reading
gosh,
manga.
just reading.
Yeah,
I've never understood being able to do that because like there's so much to do at a con. It's hard for me to stay in one
yeah,
spot.
I agree. And again, that's why I feel like it was a waste because like there's just so many things you could be doing instead of just like sitting in
Yeah.
the vendor's room, right?
No, I remember my first con. So, like, I went in cosplay and I bought my cosplay online because I thought you had to be in cosplay to go.
It is a requirement.
I thought that
it is
like,
the uniform
I
of
thought
our
I
people.
would be weird if I didn't.
It is the
wear
traditional
one.
dress.
So
for
I
people.
saved up all of my hard-earned like crappy fast food job money to buy
It's-
my first costume on eBay.
That's the thing that's always amazed me because I'm not a cosplayer. I never have been. I may be one yet. Still, the future is open.
Yeah.
However, it's just like a lot of our convention community is usually younger. Like anime cons have a younger demographic
Yeah, I
than like
agree
a
with
Comic Con usually.
Yep.
And because of that, you know that they're not, they can't make as much money or they can't save as much. It's not as easy, but the level of dedication has always astounded me for the
Yeah.
cosplay. Like I know that they're spending 100, like let's say they're spending $100, $200, And that's not like an insignificant amount of money or anything.
Especially
like
not
that.
when you're like 14
especially
or 15.
like especially when you're that age. And then there's also the fact that, you know, those countless hours of toiling over, you know, designs and drawing it out and everything like that. Like, I understand that part. It's always been amazing, even as someone who doesn't really appreciate cosplay as much as I could. I love the community for keeping on. doing that.
I think that's just because, like you said, it's not just because the demographic's younger. I just think it's a smaller demographic, right? Because like Comic Cons are just so much more wide reaching, and there's a lot more appeal to everyone, right? So you see people who come to anime conventions are much more passionate about what they do versus like you know, the average person who goes to a Comic Con. Not saying that there aren't passionate people in the comic community, right? Because there are, like freaking people who do like Star Wars armor.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Oh yeah, for
Really
sure. Like
do
that,
Star Wars
it's not
armor.
really a competition of any kind.
No.
It's
But I'm just
that,
saying, it's like it's a smaller community, therefore you see a lot more of that passion, I think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was
like-
really cool. Like my first, so I went in the costume and I had so much fun, and it was like the first time that I had seen like other cosplayers, and I made tons of friends, and I was like, man, I can't wait to go next year.
Yeah. Ironically, I didn't think I would be going back after 2006, but and then 2007 was when I actually started doing like panels and stuff and all the
Okay.
other events, and that immediately was like, okay, I'm going every year.
Yeah, you
after
were the
this.
serial panelist for quite a while.
Yeah, I was.
I
get back into
started off. I kind of like I'm a doer of things. So basically, what happened for me, I was like 16 or 17, and my girlfriend at the time knew about it. I didn't know Jack, even though I was into a lot of shows. I never really recognized that there was such a thing. Like, I didn't really think about the fact that a convention existed. So literally when I learned about Otafest, which is when I learned about conventions as well. And I remembered going there and being at the University of Calgary and this Cosplay Hill, and it was like pretty amazing. I don't feel like we did a lot of stuff because I just don't remember actually. But the reason why I'm even here now is because the community is amazing, and I remember I wanted to contribute to the community because I'm, like I said, I'm not much of a like an attendee type of person. I'm much more of an organizing type of person. So once I saw like an opportunity, we started up the May Cafe with my high school friends as actually part of a
Oh
Japanese
no way! I
project.
didn't know you've known those guys since high school.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
since 2008, which was our graduating year. That's when I decided to start that May Cafe. So with I want to say 5 or 6 of my like close friends with our Japanese class, which I think is still the only school with a Japanese class in Calgary.
I don't know.
You mean
That's
high school, right?
Oh yeah, like high school,
Yeah.
which is Bishop Carroll. They helped me put everything together. Like we work as a team. It was great. We got all this stuff together. We got cute mins. They serve food and drinks and dance, and they still do.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like, I don't do it anymore, but that was how I got into it. And
I remember that first Maid Cafe. That was very
That
small
was the
scale.
first maid cafe?
It was very small scale. Yeah.
Oh
the
my
first
gosh.
May Cafe
It
was 2008. Yes,
2008.
Oh
It was
my,
in.
'cause that was,
It wasn't
wow.
even in a room. It was
No.
outside.
Yeah, I
It was in,
remember.
like,
I went.
the area with the benches in Science B.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Otafest's 10th anniversary. We were giving away free cake.
Yeah, I remember I
And
went.
you know, I'll be totally honest, and this actually goes to anyone who is who wants to create content for. Doesn't matter if it's for a con, but just for an example, let's say you want to host a panel at Otafest. I'll be the first to admit that May Cafe was not the best thing we've ever made by far.
Well, it was your
But
first thing, though. It was
That's
the
the
first
thing.
time
No,
you
no,
did it, right?
That's
Yeah.
exactly it. Like, I mean, it was a huge undertaking. It's bigger than most projects would ever be, like panel wise and stuff like that. And you know, we're calculating our finances and all this other crazy level of actual like business management that we were actually dealing with.
Yeah.
But what it comes down to is that if you want to create content with Otafest, we're always more than willing to give you a chance.
Yeah, that's a
And,
good point. Yeah.
Yeah, we like it's
Because
okay to make a mistake.
yeah,
You
it
just-
went-
but you have to be persistent. You have to
Right.
come back.
Right.
That's determination.
Yeah, don't give up.
and It went from like a little like basically food stand with some maids,
Yeah.
right?
Not gonna lie, yeah,
to
it's
its
basically-
own to now its own department within the Otafest hierarchy,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah, its own dedicated like room all weekend, dedicated.
And I know
event.
that
own
some of the-
dedicated planning team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And we were the first ones, at least in Western Canada, that I know of. I don't know about anyone else. And we've had
yeah.
we've other cons.
Yeah.
Like I have there's no beef or competition or anything like that. You guys, I'm happy that other concepts taken up that concept as well.
Yeah, I remember because 2008 was my first Otafest, my first convention. So I went and I went to the Maid Cafe and I enjoyed the free cake, and I went to Animathon that same year.
Yeah.
Because I'd heard about it and I was like, where's the Maid Cafe? Because I just assumed every con had one. I'm
really happy to hear that. But you know, I'm always about being there at ground zero, first idea, get it going.
Yeah, no, it's for anyone who attends the University of Calgary, just to get a sense of how small this thing was, the first one. It's at the area with the benches and like the tables right between the connecting link between Science B and Mac Hall.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. Like I said, it was not. Yeah. It's like it has giant windows that you can see, like
that's right.
the plaza. But basically, it's very.
Yeah, that was a nice area, but we quickly outgrew that.
Yeah, we quickly outgrew it, and we have so much that we want to do with it. I mean, the level of decorating that Tracy does.
Yeah,
she's the current head of Maid Cafe, and actually one of the friends that I started up the cafe with during high school. You know, she puts in so much work, and the girls put in so much work with the dance routines. It's amazing.
Yeah, they start practicing like well in advance.
Way in advance.
I have to say that, like, I've always been proud that like they're the most well trained volunteers out of any. Like they receive the most training, and they're willing to execute that training like the most consistently. It's a crazy undertaking.
Yeah, they deserve
that's
a
just
block.
part of the volunteering.
Yeah. They deserve a block during closing ceremonies. We always give them a chance to perform for everyone.
I
know we're kind of like pimping Maid Cafe, but the other thing is that we're super proud of is just Otafest in general. We have a lot of charity initiatives.
Yeah,
and Maid Cafe pumps in quite a bit because we're nonprofit, so we basically almost all of the cash goes back into a charity instead of like we make our money back.
The only thing that we take in terms of operating costs is just what can we do to survive the next year. That's pretty much it, right?
Yeah.
So
that's the big thing for us as a nonprofit, but that's why we have to appreciate so much more how the community is willing to come out and support us.
just our volunteers in general. So. Man, this got a lot more heartwarming than I thought it would.
It's a good feeling. It's a good thing to talk about.
There's a lot of nostalgia. I mean, I've like been here for 8 years. In 2 years, I'll be here for 10, and I'm planning to stay here for 10 years at least.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know, and I think that's why like you know a lot of people were so passionate about the move to the TELUS Convention Center.
Because I cried and everybody cried.
Alfred is the worst person in this room right now.
Yeah, you were responsible.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? No one did anything.
No one made a video that made everybody weep in public.
I don't know how I feel about that. Like 400 people in a room just crying because
I wasn't. I'll be the first one to admit that I cried, but I wasn't crying because I was sad.
It wasn't sad tears.
I cried because I was proud.
No, exactly.
I have a lot of pride running on how things run at Otafest, like what my involvement is in, and I'm sure a lot of us do. Like that's why we it's not why we do it, sorry, but we should be proud of what we do, what we accomplish as a group, as a team. And just thinking about again how I started Maid Cafe, how I help, I've done a lot of special event stuff people might know.
Yeah.
So just thinking about all the effort and all the years and sharing it with friends, because that's what our team is friends.
Friends, yeah.
That was definitely so much.
Yeah, I remember at the time, I wasn't staff. At the time, I was still just a regular attendee, although I was friends and pretty close with a lot of members of staff because we're all friends now. And before.
The friendlier you are with staff, the more likely you are to become staff.
That's very true.
Yes.
But I remember that, I remember when my first, way back around the time of my first couple of Otafests, the talk about going to the TELUS Convention Center had been things that lots of attendees were suggesting and had wanted to see. Because
it was still so far off in the horizon.
Yeah, it just wasn't in the books.
And it just wasn't in the books. And
we were a 2,000 person con where
people were saying, it'll never happen. And then to sit in a room and remember someone saying that will never happen, and knowing that now it's happening was just it was a really cool moment, and it was really cool to see because all the staff were all up front.
And
it was really
it's a believe in you will achieve.
And you know what, I kind of joke about I'm sorry for making everyone cry, and I'm such an evil person for making everyone cry and manipulating your emotions and stuff, but really the process of making that video to me was just kind of like putting my own take of the community into that video, right? Because to me, you're right. It is all about being proud of the community and remembering what we've accomplished and where we came from, right? Like, and I hope I got that through.
I think you
Everyone's
did, and I think
cosplays,
that's why.
everyone's
Yeah,
panels,
exactly, right?
everyone
I think
who's
that's why
ever
people were
come
so
to Otafest.
emotional.
Yeah, nostalgia is
Yeah.
like a powerful force, right? And
Yeah.
it's like, but it has to be powerful for the right reasons. And
Yeah.
like, I think that's
That's
what,
the other thing.
what I tried to convey.
I steadfastly, because obviously we knew that Alfred had prepared this video, and throughout the day or throughout the con,
Right, yeah.
he would like certain people would ask to see it ahead of time, which is not a problem really. But sometimes I'd be in the room and I was being a real jackass about it, but I meant it a lot. Like
Yeah.
I steadfastly refused to see or hear the video
Until closing ceremonies.
Until it was closing ceremonies, because for me that was the right time.
Yeah.
That was a big thing for me. And like I said, I cried and I was very emotional about it, but it was nothing was sad about it.
It wasn't a sad moment. It
People
was a,
might have had some sadness.
Some
but
people were sad. Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Like-
that's different for everybody, but for me again, it's just
For me, it
you
was
have to
a
look
pride
back at all the
moment.
good things, and that's why you can see the path coming up ahead. And this is TELUS Convention Center. Let's be honest, it's a daunting challenge for our team.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a huge thing.
But it's gonna be.
it's gonna be worth it.
We're gonna rise to the challenge,
positive.
and it's gonna be good. And
There's positive energy.
yeah, and I really hope the community like agrees. I know there's a lot of like disagreement with like the move and stuff, but we're very proud of what we've done and what we're going to be doing, right? So like I really hope the community stands behind us once they see what we've got in store.
We're gonna make something that's worth standing
I just don't
behind.
want
Yeah.
I just don't want something bad to happen. Like not bad, but like bad
don't
in
want-
like
I'm gonna go knock
bad
on
in the
wood
other
now.
direction. I'm worried about something bad happening in the other direction, in a positive direction, where it's like we've talked about it and promoted it so hard that we get like 30,000 people and we just die.
Oh,
We
geez.
literally die. There's there's nothing we can do.
Yeah, it'll be like Comic Expo's like TNG reunion year.
Oh,
Lord,
man.
Yeah, that was.
I'm
yeah,
glad that was the
nightmare.
1 year I did not volunteer in any capacity. I was not able to make it to Calgary Expo.
Yeah,
I
Heard
went.
stories.
yeah.
I
Heard
went.
stories.
That was my. That was an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't actually. I saw the lines for that, but like I didn't actually like.
I got in.
Man,
I couldn't
it's
get
difficult.
out.
I got
It's
in.
difficult
yeah.
to do.
I got in, but it was like yeah.
It's
but
difficult
anyways,
to control.
just one more story about that video, and I tell this to a lot of people, but it was like I kind of got like the sense of where everyone's at after that, because I had to leave the convention shortly after closing ceremonies. So I had to go back to the Otafest control room to pick up my stuff, and we internally we call it CIC. So I walk in. So I'm like, so everyone's super emotional from like the closing ceremonies. I walk outside, and the DJ on the hill was playing the song from Fast 6.
Oh,
Like
Haven't seen it.
Oh, sorry, Fast 7. It's like it's been a long time.
yeah, that's what.
Without you, my friend.
And
And
I'll tell you all
Yeah, that
about
one.
it when I see you again.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
so I was like,
I know the
oh
song.
god, no. And then I was like, oh, okay, well. So I walk into CIC, I get my stuff, and it's lying in a
And
corner.
CIC is actually kind of close to the hill.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't know where it is, which is fine. It's just it's close enough that if they're blaring music, we can hear snippets of it.
Yeah, so I walk in and like that music's playing, and a lot of the staff are in there after like charity punishments and like the closing ceremonies and all that, right? And 20 tear-stained faces turned and stared at me, and no one said anything as I picked up my stuff and walked out. And they all
That's
just
kind of
glared at me.
like a mic drop moment for you.
Yeah,
like it's a
just-
testament to
What you
know,
did.
what
Yeah,
you did. But
yeah.
at the same time, you're like, I am scum. Or at least I'd feel.
Yeah, no, I had a lot of fun making that video, and like,
should.
yeah, just it was. I poured my own heart and soul into that, and my own feelings about Otafest. So I really hope that people are gonna come out to the TELUS Convention Center and see.
We'll
what
make new memories.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and hopefully
More things to be proud of.
10 years from
gonna be
now, we'll
good.
have another video, and it'll make you cry, right? So
Oh
yeah,
man.
I hope it's not you, so you can cry this time.
yeah. I, don't
I
know
hope
about
someone
that.
else will do it, and you'd be like, I hate everything.
Okay, so I think we should
Wrap up for now?
soon. So
Yeah, there's not much else that to talk about. I mean, we covered a lot of anime stuff today.
Yeah.
We talked about being an anime con, so the only thing we didn't talk about earlier was being a podcast. So, but that's a little bit too meta. And like I said, if you want us to talk about podcasts, you'll come to the podcast panel.
Yeah, and you can look at our gear. You can take a look at our setup.
You can laugh at our setup.
You can laugh at our setup. It's pretty ghetto.
Actually, no, it's not bad.
It's not bad. Yeah,
you'll see.
It's a good basic podcasting setup. So yeah. With that,
yeah, I guess we're done for this.
Yeah, we're done for today.
Yeah. Okay. My name's Alfred.
My name's Dio. It was nice meeting you all.
And I'm Jay. Thanks for coming.
Yep. And see you guys later. Next
Bye.
episode. Bye.
Get out.